Many businesses think that revenue systems fail because they need more data to handle leads effectively. But revenue systems fail because they collect too much of the wrong data. More data is not always better. In this video, I want to show you what the minimum data a revenue system actually needs, and why, surprisingly, collecting more usually makes things worse. People design intake systems. They usually start by adding as much data as possible, thinking that more information will improve quality. They ask themselves questions like, what might I need later? But with ever-evolving revenue systems, there's no way to know what information will be valuable in the future. They add fields, and they add more fields trying to capture that information. But capturing more information doesn't create clarity. Just like adding volume or speed to music doesn't make that music any better. It creates friction and more noise. People guess about what information is required, and they add things that may not be necessary or valuable. And the system slowly fills with unreliable data. As you can see, the problem isn't missing data. The problem is that a system that captures too much information trains people to avoid entering data that they don't have or think is irrelevant. When data entry feels heavy, behavior degrades. And once behavior degrades, lack of consistent data causes automation to break and become unreliable. A revenue system doesn't need everything. It needs just enough information to enforce ownership and next steps. Anything beyond that is optional. There are 3 types of data in a revenue system: required, optional, deferred. Most systems fail because they treat all 3 as required. Required data is what the system cannot function without. And you'll notice that the system can function with very little. Identity, which answers one question: who is this? Intent, which answers another question: why did they reach out? If the system knows who this is and why they're here, it can enforce the next step. Without identity and intent, the system can't reason about what just happened. Optional data can add some context. It can make a record richer or help later conversations. But the system must still work if it's missing. If process breaks when optional data isn't there, that data was never optional in the first place. And when optional data becomes mandatory, behavior collapses. Optional data is best handled by deferring it. That data belongs after the moment is captured, not during it. First, the system needs ownership. Then it needs to protect momentum. Only after that does richer data actually become useful. This is why minimalism matters. Minimal data doesn't just simplify the system, it simplifies behavior. When people don't have to decide what to fill out in the form, they don't hesitate. When hesitation is removed, the system becomes reliable. Minimal data enforces behavior because it removes decision making at the moment of intake. You can see when the system captures the minimum amount of data correctly, everything downstream becomes more reliable. Ownership exists, and momentum is preserved. More data doesn't make systems smarter. Correct data does. And correct data isn't about completeness, it's about timing. When systems capture the right information at the right moment, everything downstream becomes easier. That's what makes systems reliable. I'm documenting a free revenue automation starter blueprint that breaks down how these systems work step by step. If you want to follow along as it takes shape, you can get early access in the description below.